Hey boys and girls, Prophetic here with a quick crazy story of what happened to my computer running plasma, KDE Neon plasma. It just melted. That's the best way I could describe it. My desktop environment melted and I barely got it back. It all started probably a week after me installing upgrading from the 1604 base to the 1804 base. Everything was hunky-dory until I started running some updates, like a couple days later. For the most part, things were fine. I noticed that I couldn't get into, first, my vaults, my KDE Neon vaults. And if you don't know, Plasma vaults allow you to create like easily encrypted folders on the desktop. And I created my original vault in the 1604 base. And I don't know if I was just in time or if it was before they went to the crypt file. It's CryFS, I think it's called, or if it went with the one that starts with the E. I forget which one, but either way, something happened where I couldn't log in, or I couldn't get into my vault. So I'm troubleshooting it, and I'm like, thank goodness it was a test vault. I did have some personal stuff, but nothing that I couldn't recoup from maybe digging around some emails. I think there's one was taxes that I can probably get from my accountant. But I was still like kind of bugging about it. It kind of bugged me. Thank goodness I didn't put anything with my client stuff in there, because that would have been super. I mean, I was already like super pissed, but it was like easy to rub off. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Eventually I'll figure out what's going on. I don't have time to troubleshoot. So I go continue using my machine, and next thing you know, Latte Dock starts acting up. I have it on the left, like almost like Gnome, or Ubuntu Gnome, and I noticed that some of my icons are disappearing. One disappears, fine. I didn't use that app that much, so I delete it. The next day, all of them are gone. Like, what is going on? I go to Discover, and lo and behold, Discover is not working. I'm like, okay, that kind of happens every once in a while. Less often, but it still happens. So I'm like, that's not too out of the ordinary. Discover is giving me problems. I go to the console, the terminal. Next thing you know, console has disappeared. I have no idea what's going on. At this point, I'm getting a little paranoid because I'm like, did someone hack my system? I think the reason why I was like that paranoid is because in this past week, I was setting up a server for Nextcloud. I was like, maybe I left something open with a port, but then I was thinking, no, it's a local system, and it's Snap. It was Nextcloud Snap, so I got that working. So I was like, it can't be that. I go run a couple updates and reboot, and you would not believe the screen that I saw. Maybe I'll put it in the notes, but actually, let me see if I can pull it up now. Because this was nuts. And of course, I share everything with the Biddle on Destination Linux, but a lot lately on Destination, on the Biddle. So, so I mentioned Latte Dock stops working. I see this. Once I figure out Latte Dock's not working, I add a default panel, and this happens. Then this is what I see on my login screen manager. And look at the top left corner. Gnome. I'm like, who is messing with me? Like, did I piss somebody off in Linux land? They're coming to get me. Like, I'm thinking that's silly, I know, but like, I'm just so, and it's also late at night too. So I'm like, I don't know what to think of all this. I don't know if I should laugh or cry because I can't get into my vault. My settings are just like disappearing. Apps are being removed. I can't launch things. I reboot and I see a note. This looks like an old school, like back in the day when I used to run PC Linux OS, when I first started learning Linux. This kind of reminded me of a little bit, like the blue and like the straightforward screen. And my goodness, I boot in and this is what I get. Whoops. This is what I see. Gnome. A full Gnome session. I had to install Plasma. I don't know if you can see it from there. I'm not going to bother trying to zoom in. But I installed Plasma Desktop all over again. And then it boots in. I'm like, I think I'm okay. I run a couple more updates. And nope, that's chickens. I run a couple more updates, and then I'm back here again. And the reason why I got back here again, because I didn't have this login screen. That was gone after that last round of updates. I was into like a shell, and then I used to use Start X to get into this. So I installed LightDM, get back into my my Plasma session because I need to get to vaults. And I'm like, wow, I just got done backing up all my files because as I'm troubleshooting this, I don't want to lose my files. So I back up my files and I'm like, all right, I might just have to squash all this and just reinstall everything. But I'm like, let me try to figure out the vaults thing one last time. And lo and behold, after 25 more minutes of trying to troubleshoot, I unlock it. And it is bonkers. It's when we fans of Linux are truly a special breed to put up with the stuff that we put up, to go through the stuff that we go through. Sometimes we do it to ourselves. Sometimes as a result of a bug or coming down the pipeline of updates. But we are truly a special breed to go through stuff like this. And this is extreme, though, by the way. Most people don't have the stuff that happens to me like this. But it's amazing because, like, as crazy as it is, it's frustrating as it can be. There's really no other way to learn and go through your system and problem solve. I've been using Linux on and off for almost 9 years. I guess maybe 7 years if you add some breaks. And trust me, after these things, I was flirting with the idea of taking a break from Linux. Because I was like, this is unreal. Like, seriously, think about this. I went from Plasma to Gnome without ever freaking touching Gnome. Like, it just appeared. I had to lean on all those years of like learning stuff. It really was like a convergence of like Start X. I haven't used that in years, but I remembered it from one time using Kali Linux because it didn't automatically do it for you. You had to learn how to do it on your own. I was like, wow, use that. Obviously terminal commands picked up a little bit here and there. Just becoming like a Google ninja to see what vaults, and being able to delete things in a terminal, make it permanently deleted, as opposed to just like delete it, but then the hidden file of some crud is still left over. All these things you just picked up and learned a little by little, and I was able to unlock it. And it was really not even something with the versions of the encryption software. It was really because when the vault didn't unmount, or it unmounted, but when you put a file next to it or inside of it, I forget which one it was, I think it was inside of it, and then try to unlock it, it reads that there's a file that's encrypted and there's a file that's not encrypted in the same area, and it won't do anything. And so I had to delete those things and remove any hidden files, and then unmount it from the terminal, then mount it again with my desktop launcher on the widget that they have, like right here. Then I was able to log in. My wife texted me, why? She's 3 stories up. She texted me, why are you yelling? Because I was so pumped that I was able to get it. I was so happy I was able to unlock him. And again, it's just another thing where it's just, sometimes you learn by being intentional. Sometimes you learn because you're forced to learn. And sometimes you're really tested on your problem solving skills and the grit it takes to just say, no, I'm not going to let this thing beat me. I got to figure this out. And I was kind of throwing it around out there to Mike Tennell of Tux Digital and Destination Linux. I actually hit him up on Telegram. I was like, bro, if you can solve this for me, I'll gladly pay you. If you can just solve this for me. He gave me a tip about something, and if this didn't work out, I was going to try that next. Thank goodness I got into this with this solution. I think it was right here. No, this right here. I was at my wit's end, but now it's done. I'm super happy. My wife understands why I'm so happy, because I tell her she thought something was wrong or whatever, but I was yelling how happy I was. Like, yes, thank you, got it, finally. And as a weight lifted up my shoulders, because some of those things were important. Some of the things would be in a pain to dig back out from, like, emails and from different people. But yeah, so with that said, I'm still going to do a brand new, fresh reinstall, because I don't trust this anymore. And I might just give Neon another shot with a clean install instead of doing the upgrade. I might just do a clean install. Neon has been so good to me for so long. I would have to just throw it all out because of one bad experience. Albeit it was a really bad experience. Really bad. So my top 3 where I was entertaining was Pop OS. Again, Neon, 1804 base. And I think Ubuntu, 1810, or maybe 1804 to be safe. But yeah, that was my crazy 48 plus hours. Man, it was crazy. But you live and you learn. That's the Linux way. All right, signing off. See you guys. Thanks for making it out to the end of my crazy rambling. Catch you guys later. Peace.